On this episode of System Integrators Weekly, we have 4 different system integrators with a range of 4 different budgets. Let's see who comes out on top for each one. All that and more on this episode of System Integrators Weekly. Let's go, nerds! Hello everyone, I'm Braithorn. Welcome to System Integrators Weekly, where we are keenly watching prices drop on GPUs because, well, that's kind of the whole reason we started this show in the first place. Was soaring GPU prices, which are now plummeting. What goes up must come down eventually. So it's getting to where you can actually get some GPUs around or at MSRP, and that's starting to be reflected in some of these system integrator websites. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what's out there for those who don't necessarily want to build, or those who do want to build and still can't quite find a GPU and maybe just want to get a whole pre-built PC so they can take it apart and put it in a different case, do whatever building they want to do. If that's you, you're in the right video. If that's not you, you're also in the right video. Whoever you are, keep watching this video. It's going to be cool anyway. Probably, whatever. Because it is actually getting easier to find GPUs, you might be considering building your own PC. And if that's the case, you'll be happy to know that the sponsor of today's video is CDKdeals. Now, lower GPU prices might be the sign that it's time for you to build your own PC. Buying the parts, unboxing them, and building your own PC can be a fantastic experience. But there's one critical component that you shouldn't overlook: a Windows license. Thankfully, you can save a good chunk of money on that purchase with today's video sponsor, CDKdeals. CDKdeals is an online marketplace that offers game keys for several different platforms and genuine software licenses at drastically reduced prices. You can even use code BRAY25 to get an additional 30% off. Here's how it works. Here we have an OEM license for Windows 10 Pro. Of course, all Windows 10 Home and Pro keys can be later upgraded to Windows 11 at no charge. Keep in mind that you'll need a new key if you build a new system or make major hardware changes. OEM keys cannot be used to upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Pro, so make sure you know which version you have installed. Here in the cart, you can use code BRAY25 to get an additional 30% off. So an OEM copy of Windows 10 Pro will drop from $22.72 to just $15.90. After your purchase is complete, click View Keys/Codes. Click Get the Key and copy it. Then go to your Windows search bar, type out Activate, and click Activation Settings. My Windows install is already activated, so I'll be replacing it, but yours should just say Activate Windows. Paste in the key, click Activate, and you're done. Thank you, CDKdeals, for continuing to support the channel. So back to the topic at hand, we're going to take a look at several different budgets. We're going to go under 1,000. We're going to go around 1,250. We're going to go around 1,500. 1,700. There's a lot of range under $2,000 where things change drastically. And then we're going above 2,000 to 2,200, 2,500, around that range. And there's just going to be options everywhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to quickly glance at several systems at each one, call out which one's the best, move on. Now, if you want more details on any of these systems, of course, you can check the links in the description below. And if you have any questions for me in particular for your own circumstances and what you want to do with your PC and you want a custom build, you can let me know on stream. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at twitch.tv/Braithorn at around 8 p.m. Central. I am late sometimes. Please just be patient with me. I'm working all the time on this stuff, so sometimes I'm late. I do apologize for that, but I will make it worth your while. By the way, one quick thing. As you're watching through this video, understand that there's a massive, huge, awesome announcement at the end of this video, and I want you to stick around and hear it because I am just like fizzling with excitement because it's going to be very cool, and it's coming up in a few short weeks. So stay till the end of the video. I'll tell you all about that. Now, before we get on to the actual content, some disclaimers for you. And what we're going to do this time is just have them on the screen. Disclaimer number 1 is that availability changes frequently, and you should keep that in mind if you're looking for something up from this video and it's just not there. The next disclaimer is that yes, although I do talk about what I see on the screen here, I also talk about my own opinions regarding these PCs and what I think is the best option. I have a lot of history with PCs backing up those opinions, but feel free to disagree in the comments below or in the Discord, or which you can find linked below, or on stream. Just do it politely, please. And then the final one is, of course, whenever you buy anything, regardless of advice you got from anyone else or what a video you watched on YouTube, you are buying at your own risk, and I'm not giving financial advice here. I'm just saying, I think this is better than this. I think that might be better than that. I can only do so much. So shipping can be rough on a PC, just make sure everything is in one piece when you get it. And also electronics can fail. But every one of these sites we're looking at here has some kind of warranty so that any damages in shipping or anything like that, or any issues from the very onset, you're totally taken care of. And as long as you take care of these things, they will last you quite a while in most cases. So first we're looking at sub $1,000. Anything less than $1,000 is very easy to get something that is not actually a gaming PC. And most of the ones we're gonna look at are gonna be strictly 1080p gaming. So if you're looking to get into 1440p gaming, something like that, it's gonna be rough at this price point. And if you're trying to get something at 1440p or trying to play AAA titles at triple digit frame rates, you may just wanna save up for a bit and wait, because sometimes that is the answer. It is a pretty important thing to note if you're coming from console to gaming PC, that if you're trying to get something that's gonna be a better gaming experience than a console for less than $1,000, you're probably not going to get exactly what you're looking for, except for a few, now it depends. But let's see what we can get for under $1,000. We're going to look at this system right here. This is from iBUYPOWER. It is a Ryzen 3 3100 and a Radeon RX 6500 XT, and I'm gonna go ahead and say no to this one. Although the 3100 does have PCIe Gen 4, and so does the motherboard, the B550, so the RX 6500 XT is in the best circumstances possible for its operation. It's still, in this price point, there is better stuff. Now, one honorary mention on this one is I wanted to cover the Skytech Gaming, the Blaze 2 here, because it's $899, and it is an upgrade over the one that you're getting from iBUYPOWER for that little price difference, going from $879 to $899. You're looking at going from having a 1650, a GTX 1650 graphics card, to having a GTX 1660, which is a pretty solid step up in performance. So a little bit less expandability, but slightly better airflow, more openings on this than you get on the iBUYPOWER case. And 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply is plenty for this. And yeah, so there you have it. It's a 10400F 6-core 2.9 gigahertz processor, which is going to beat the pants off of that Ryzen 3 3100. This one is $999 right here. And this one has the Intel Core i5 12400F and the RTX 3050. And the 3050 is a much better performer than the 6500 XT, because NVIDIA didn't cut down on PCIe Gen 4 lanes or anything like that. They didn't cut back on the VRAM. And just there are several different reasons why the 3050 is better. Dual channel RAM, the RTX 3050, 8 gig GDDR6 video card, a 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply. It's going to be a generic power supply, non-modular, and a 1 terabyte M.2 drive. Like, this has some great options to it. It's a really, really good contender here. Now, I will say that you can build a PC like this for less money right here. It does have a couple fewer cores on the processor. It's a Core i3 12100F, which is really strictly going to be better at gaming. A Gigabyte B660M DS3H with AX Wi-Fi, and it uses DDR4 memory. It is a micro ATX motherboard because we're using the Deepcool Matrix 40 micro ATX mid-tower case. I went higher end on the M.2 drive than, let's say your really budget ones. It's a Sabrent Rocket Q 1 terabyte for $89.99. G.Skill Ripjaws 5, 16 gigs, DDR4 3600, so this is faster memory. Asus GeForce RTX 3050, it is the Asus Dual OC video card, and this is literally the cheapest 3050 right now on the market. We have that, plus the case, Matrix 40, and the Corsair RMX 2018 model of a 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply, fully modular, and it is only $65. All of this for $905. So yeah, if you want to build a PC that's a budget 1080p gaming machine, this is it right here. If you want to do some streaming or something on it, or just a lot of multitasking, get the 12400 instead of the 12100F. Both of these, though, are older generation platforms. So with the Blaze 2, you're getting 10th gen Intel, and with the iBUYPOWER system, you're getting a socket AM4, and it's a motherboard that can actually handle something like a 5600X, 5800X, or even a 5800X 3D that's coming out. So it can, I think there's a little better upgradability with the iBUYPOWER system, but this system right here off the bat is going to perform better. But for this one, I think the winner, other than of course my PC part picker list, I think the winner is going to be the CyberPowerPC system. And this one is ready to ship, it's ready to go. First off, before you pull the trigger on that, watch the video on Tuesday to see some of the numbers that I got, some of the frame rates I got, because I have the review for the Hoplite here, and those are similar specs. But also, before you pull the trigger on this, consider the Hoplite from Alexander PCs. That is this one right here. Now, is that more money? You bet it is. Is it better? You bet it is. Absolutely. Stock cooler is nowhere in sight. This has a Vetru V5. This also has a high airflow case, which is oriented correctly for actual airflow rather than being all negative air pressure for no reason. It's also got a much better motherboard with the ASUS TUF Gaming B660M plus Wi-Fi. You're looking at a 1 terabyte M.2 drive and 16 gigs of DDR4 3600, not 3200, so it's faster memory, and basically everything they touched on here. Just watch the review on Tuesday so you can see where I'm coming from with that. But let's see a couple of competing systems that compete with this. This one has the Ryzen 5 3600. That is a 6-core, 12-thread processor. But this one has the Wraith Stealth cooler that comes with the 3600. So that's a stock cooler. This case is not my favorite case for airflow. Then we look at iBUYPOWER's offering, and it looks awfully familiar. I mean, I don't just mean that they use the same case for most of these. Yeah, it's not the highest airflow case, but there are some fixes to that. Watch my review of the iBUYPOWER Prebuilt that they send me. But you take off that front panel and it does help GPU temps more than anything. So this has the 12400F CPU. It's a Z690 motherboard, which to be honest is kind of an upgrade. It can't utilize, the 12400F cannot utilize the Z690's overclocking capabilities, but you could always upgrade your processor later. 16 gigs of DDR4 3200, so it's slower memory, a 500 gig M.2 drive, so it's half the amount of storage that the Hoplite has, and a 120 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler, which the 12400 doesn't necessarily need. So basically, there's more money spent on the motherboard than is needed, and on the cooling that is needed, and the RAM could have used a boost. So I would say, you know, this is a good option right here to get it really fast if that's what you need. Any systems over $1,000, you can get $50 off with code RDY. Any systems over $2,000 or over $19.99, you can get $100 off with code RDY100. Still, I think the thing I haven't mentioned yet makes it a bit more worth it to go for the Hoplite. The iBUYPOWER system has a 3-year labor, 1-year parts warranty. The Hoplite has a lifetime warranty. Would you spend $50 on a lifetime warranty for also getting better parts, better airflow, better performance in general? I think you would, as long as you got it, of course, you know, that's my suggestion to you. They want you to know that they are actually being very competitive with the price here. You see the all-in price, including shipping in the continental US, and the warranty baked into the price, by the way, it is $12.98 before my $50 discount, so that'd be about $12.48. They have the PC part picker list that matches all the components that they put in there right here. And I have it right here. Look at the overall price, $12.14 to build it yourself and not have a lifetime warranty. And also that's before taxes. And guess what? If you're not into 12th gen Intel and maybe you want to get into some light overclocking, the Hoplite now comes with a 5600X if you want to go AMD. Now, socket AM4 is reaching end of life. They released the last few processors that are going to be released for AM4. For Zen 3 processors, that's going to be it. But yes, you can, if you want to go AMD, you totally can, right here. Next budget is going to be $1,500. $1,500 right here. Guess what we got? A 5600X and a 3060 Ti. This is the same spec as the system that I tested, that they sent to me for testing. And it tested beautifully at 1440p. This also has a 1 terabyte M.2 drive, 16 gigs of DDR4 3200, 120 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. This tested fine with the one that I had. I will say though, this front panel hurt GPU temperatures. And once I took the front panel off completely, I lost about 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, if I remember correctly. Competing with this, we have the Azure from Skytech. This has a 5600X and a 3060 Ti. Now, where's the benefit here? What's the difference? Well, this one doesn't show it, but it has side intake fans. Actually, I believe, have perforations all along the bottom here for bottom intake. Are there fans there? I don't think so. It says 3 fans are included, 3 RGB fans. But that means if this is a negative pressure setup, you have fresh air being pulled in from the bottom through an actual filtered part. Now there's gonna be fresh air being pulled in through this unfiltered section right here too. Not great, but still, I prefer positive pressure for that reason. So between these two though, I would probably go with the Skytech system because first off, it is $1549, so it is $50 more for a similar processor and not as, well, it's a Wraith Spire cooler, which should be able to handle a 5800X if you get some extra fans in here. I explained a few videos back where we're gonna get as many system integrators that we trust to get a discount code, which is just Braithorn, and you can use it at any time. You don't have to wait for a sale or have missed a sale or whatever. And some of them will do a referral fee, so back to the channel. So you save money, you support the channel, and they get customers. So like everybody is completely happy. But the more places we have it at, the more options you have to do that stuff. Now moving up to around $1750, $1799, right around that price, we got the Intel Core i7 12700KF CPU, Z690 motherboard, and a 3060 Ti. So this is like the 5600X version there, except it's a 12th gen Intel setup and a 12700KF no less. 1 terabyte M.2 drive and a 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler, and you're gonna wanna pull out that front panel. This is gonna run hotter. Now here we have a competing system and it looks very similar as well. This is the Azure right here, and it's the same one, but it's a higher spec. This has a 12600K and a 3060 Ti. I would say here that this one is not as competitive, but I think the only reason this system exists is because I hardly see any 12600 systems on iBUYPOWER's same-day ready systems. But if you're just looking at a game, the 12600K is awesome, and even for streaming and multitasking and all that stuff. So between these two, I would probably say the iBUYPOWER system is going to be superior, even though, you know, you do have to take it apart to get some better airflow, at least, I mean, leave it apart. Now we're moving up. 2000 plus, we're looking at $2249 for this CyberPowerPC instant ship system. You're looking at a 12700K and a 3070. It has side intakes on both sides there, and it's not that bad. I've seen worse. Basically, this has double the intake of the iBUYPOWER's standard case. So beyond that, 800 watts is plenty of power for this system. It has a 1 terabyte M.2 drive and an additional mechanical hard drive. Not too shabby, not too shabby. But we're gonna completely ignore this system because guess what's finally being listed on same-day ready systems on iBUYPOWER? The Y60 is here. There it is, baby. That's a beautiful case right there. And oh boy, man, I have been waiting for this. So they have this set up with a 240mm. The cooling is like my main concern here. So they have this set up with a 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler running as intake. We've got an exhaust fan on the back. We have, of course, the hidden intake fans underneath the floor of the case right there. This thing has a 12700KF because it also comes with an RTX 3070 Ti for a little bit more. Yes, it's $2399, which you'll get $100 off of with code RDY100, making it $2299, making it $50 more than this system right here with a way better case, way more fans, way better airflow, and a better GPU. Anyway, Z690 motherboard, 3070 Ti, great, and the 240mm kit. Okay, this, I'm telling you, if you're in this price range, of course, minus $100 if you're watching this soon enough, this right here is compelling AF. Now, we're not going crazy with the budget. Like, I was just messing around on Main Gear's site earlier with like their hard tube liquid cooling stuff, and I was able to get to like $9,000 just messing around there. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have that. So now we're going for higher end. This, you are looking at a 12700K. There's no F to be seen. 360mm AIO. This is going to be much more appropriate for a 12700K. This has 9 RGB fans, Z690 DDR5 motherboards. This has DDR5 RAM. That's a big jump in price in general. You're also getting a 3080 Ti instead of a 3070 Ti. That's not one step up in GPU, that's 2 of them. 2 steps up. And a 1000 watt power supply. Like, kudos! It has a 1 terabyte Gen 4 M.2 drive. And some fun news for you guys. I have something like this. Like right over there. I haven't opened it yet because I have to film everything. It's a little different because it says 12700K and a 3080. On the box anyway. I could be wrong, so it's not this exactly, but it's gonna be very similar. So expect a video reviewing this coming up very soon, sometime in early April, with a more in-depth coverage later on. But what could compete with this? What would we say would compete with this? Well, one of my favorites from Alexander PCs is the Strategos. This one is a 12700K 3080 12 gig edition, 32 gigs of Kingston Fury Beast DDR5 5200, and you can go up to 6,000 megatransfers per second. And the motherboard is the ROG Strix Z690E Gaming. Go watch the video where I talked about Fuzzy Boy's upcoming build. I know it's a mess here. I'm overwhelmed with like 2 builds right now and a review. I've been doing all of it at once. So, sorry, pretty tired. But yes, this is a hellacious motherboard. I mean, it alone is more valuable in my mind than the little TI at the end of 3080 on the Skytech system. A great motherboard is nothing to sneeze at. It is so important if you need a lot from it. If you're just gaming, you don't need 10 USB ports on the back and double USB Type-C and whatever. But it can help if you're doing streaming and stuff like that to have a few more than that. And this one has that. It's not a cheap motherboard. Case they use, the Lee Landcool 2 Mesh. Let's go. Awesome. Awesome case. Just one of the best performing airflow cases on the market. So, I mean, this is an absolute monster because it is balanced a little better. Honestly, either one's a good option. You can go either way. I leave it to you. It is your money on this one. But I've given you enough information at this point to make an educated decision, make a confident decision. That's the point of this show. It's not for me to point and say, go buy that. Do it. It's to say, this is why this might be better. This is why that might be better. I might call one or another a winner, but that's my opinion. Your opinion is really the one that matters because you're the one with the green, you know? So much stuff going on right now in the upcoming month of April, including PAX. So the announcement right now, let's go. So when I first heard was invited to go to PAX, or it was suggested that I do so, I was like, you know what? Let's just let's submit to run a panel while we're there. Why not? I mean, I got my media pass, although I submitted both of those like around the same time. So a month and a half passes with no word on that, and then suddenly, like a week ago, they're like, "Hey, you still willing to run that panel?" Yes. So here are the details. As it's planned right now, myself, Blastin, Joey, owner of Team Excluded, will be joined on the stage by iBUYPOWER, Viral PCs, and Alexander PCs for an in-depth industry discussion talking about all the craziness that is happening, and boy, the absolute insanity that's coming to the PC hardware market very soon, this year. It's going to be a fascinating panel, and of course, because of that, I guess they recognize that because the PAX crew decided, this is PAX East in April, April 21st through the 24th in Boston. They decided that not only are they going to have me do the panel, I thought it was going to be in a little room or whatever. I'm still a relatively small content creator. No, it's going to be in the Albatross Theater at 6:30 p.m. Boston time on the first night. The Albatross Theater is one of the 3 theaters being broadcast on one of their 3 partnered Twitch channels. They partnered up with Twitch to broadcast these. It's going to be on one of their 3 Twitch channels. Prime time, first night of the event. And that is also, we're going to try to chop that up and make that the System Integrators Weekly video for that Sunday. It's really exciting. I'm so like, yeah. It's also really scary, but like I don't mind public speaking. Obviously, it's what I do, right? But it's I'm like, man, I'm just flipping out every day over this, and I got plans, and just it's gonna be so cool. You have to be there. You have to see it. Please watch it on Twitch, and maybe the Sunday video. It's gonna be so freaking fantastic. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. Be sure to come by the stream tonight. Let's chat about the panel. Let's chat about PAX coverage. Gonna go over there, see if I can chat it up with Asus, Corsair, whoever's willing to talk to little old me. Subscribe, like the video, share it if you want other people to see it. Do the things if you feel like doing the things. I just told you to do a bunch of things, but the main thing I'd like you to do until next time is take care.